there, PA Federationists. Welcome to another episode of White Canes Connect, presented by the National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania. My name is David Goldstein. I am the first vice president of the NFB of Pennsylvania, and today we're going to take another look back from our state convention in Erie in 2024. We have Danielle Lubiner talking about Braille, the language of the blind.
Good morning, Erie, and good morning, Pennsylvania. So I want to thank our president for allowing me to come and talk about some of the issues that we know exist here, not only in Pennsylvania, but just in general in the education of teaching blind kids. So when we have a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation, or there's an issue in the field, sometimes we will receive a dear colleague letter to clear things up and to straighten it out. And so today I have a letter for you. I hope to share with you how I got here and how those experiences have guided me. And I hope to share more about Braille instruction and offer a way forward for parents, teachers, all of you in here who are on this journey, like we've mentioned earlier, on this journey to ensure the success of blind people. Dear colleagues, parents, and community members, my experience as a special education teacher began in 2009 as I served students with severe disabilities while working with 3 paraprofessionals. I met a kid who was blind and nonverbal, and from that experience, I started my master's in teaching blind students at Louisiana Tech University. There, I was able to meet Dr. Ruby Rouse, who is a respected leader in the field and still quoted till today. She showed us how easy it was to learn Braille. She also introduced the framework Natural Art of Contractions to show us how to teach school-age children contracted Braille as it occurs in the text. My career in blindness began in 2013. I returned back to Louisiana Tech to serve as the outreach specialist for the Professional Development Institute. The Professional Development and Research Institute on Blindness. This position allowed me to work with families within and outside of Louisiana to teach Braille, presentation and mobility, the expanded core curriculum, during the school year and in the summer here in Pennsylvania and also in Virginia. While I was in Ruston, I also completed the immersion program at Louisiana Center for the Blind. There, I was tasked with learning non-visual skills just like you all have learned. I had to learn how to cook, clean non-visually, use a click ruler, travel in unfamiliar places, travel throughout New York City, use a screen reader, learn how to type non-visually, and read Braille non-visually. As an outreach specialist, I work to advocate for students who need access to the education curriculum with high and elevated expectations. My professional practice has allowed me to share some articles on information as it relates to collaborating with others on the IEP team, meeting students where they are when they are learning Braille and when we are teaching Braille, questioning slow Braille reading, and teaching Braille with the natural order of contractions framework. So when I say Braille, you say rocks. Braille, rocks. Okay, you got to be a little more excited about Braille. Currently, I serve as the Associate Professor of the College of Graduate Studies at Bridgewater State University in Massachusetts. I'm teaching individuals who are interested in becoming teachers of students with disabilities how to bend and be flexible in their curriculum and the way they do things in their classrooms. I focus on the importance of appropriate assessments, multi-tiered support systems of support, the state standards, progress monitoring, adjusting instruction, and developing lesson plans. In 2020, I made this note, and it is still true today. An effective team plan to meet the needs of all students will include creative thinking, appropriate learning tools, community-based experiences, and elevated expectations. We, the people in this room today, we are working together to elevate the expectations of Braille readers. We understand that Braille is necessary and easy and valued, and we provide an appropriate educational program. We're working to provide an appropriate educational program for all students. In 2015, Holbrook stated that some parents, schools, and community members lacked information and knowledge about blindness due to its low incidence and the limited availability of blindness information. And we know this to be true in Pennsylvania because we've heard the stories throughout this weekend. This conference, this organization, the National Federation of the Blind, and this letter strives to bridge the knowledge gap regarding blindness education and Braille. IDEA, that is law, that requires us to think about Braille first, not second. And early intervention is key. Early intervention is key. Learning Braille starts at home with the TBS and the TBI, the early interventionists, and the family. As a reading specialist, daily reading, along with other instructional practices, are imperative for the literary success of the student. Daily reading. I love the way Massachusetts Department of Education says this. They say, all children, all students should participate in daily core instruction in foundational skills as one part of a complete literacy program, alongside with the development of oral language and in connection with engaging with authentic text and writing, letting us know that our children, our blind children, need daily instruction, engaging with authentic text as well as writing. In 2000, Cohen and Holbrook conducted a study. They wanted to see what the professionals in the field thought about in terms of appropriate levels of instruction service to address the needs of students who are blind or visually impaired. Their findings revealed that as students enter the pre-Braille phase of instruction, daily instruction from a qualified teacher for 30 minutes to an hour a day is necessary. They describe these pre-Braille skills as early letter and simple word recognition skills. And so if you attended our pop-up Braille challenge, you were able to walk away with a packet of some of those early letters and simple word recognition skills, because these are the skills that we need to continue fostering early reading and writing skills for our students, among others. They also revealed that most professionals agree that when a student is introduced to a Braille literacy program after some level of instruction in print literacy, regardless of the period in the student's school career, daily contact and long sessions are necessary. This guidance makes it clear that early learners would benefit from Braille instruction at a high consistency, that's daily, and long times per day, 1 to 2 hours per session. Casey Robinson and I understood that the traditional approach to teaching Braille is very time consuming, and we need our students to read grade level materials at a rate that's commensurate to their peers. Educators who believe this will set ambitious standards for student success, and this is the model goal. As Carol Castellano reminds us, getting ready for college starts in the 3rd grade. She's reminding us to consider the future of our children. As we look to the future, we recognize that the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled Library of Congress says that large print materials are most commonly available in 16 to 18 point type. So if our children are reading beyond those point types, Braille should be an option for them as well. We know that the general education curriculum includes ambitious and rigorous standards that aid teachers in providing instruction for school-aged children. So as a teacher of blind students, I myself I've sat down and created Braille instruction that align with this curriculum to ensure the success of our students. When educators create appropriate Braille instruction, blind children who learn to read Braille as their first reading medium are more likely to be employed and self-sufficient than those who do not. And those are not my words. Those are Dr. Rao's words from 1996. And we know that to be true today. We all know that the pandemic had an impact and an influence on how we do things in life. But in 2021, Porter, Green, and Esposito reminded us that poor educational outcomes of students with disabilities had been an ongoing concern long before the onset of the pandemic. These poor outcomes are due in part to students' limited access to consistent, high-quality instruction to meet their unique needs. The uniqueness and tactile nature of Braille instruction implies that high-quality instruction for learners of Braille occurs in person with a highly qualified professional, the support of a paraprofessional, and a Braille production team. And you would be glad to know that you have that team here in Pennsylvania through Patton. However, in the early stages of learning Braille, the teacher must be able to provide daily in-person instruction to adjust the curriculum and the physical environment, as these are ever-changing. As parents and as your child's first teacher, I challenge you to do the same. Provide a place and time at home for learning and reading Braille, whether it's building a Braille library in your child's room, labeling the spice rack, or sitting with them as they read a book aloud. You want to increase their access to Braille and increase their love for Braille. My daily work as an educator focuses on increasing students with disabilities access to equitable learning environments. To ensure that blind students succeed in life, educators must build capacity in blindness education and share that knowledge with all stakeholders, parents, community members, agencies, you name it, everyone. Organizations like the NFB, the Paths to Literacy, as well as your local organizations can guide us on this journey. Educators must collaborate with families, experts in the field, and other related service providers. More specifically, they must collaborate with content area teachers. Those are your teachers who teach reading, math, science, social studies, as well as reading and math specialists. General education, special education, related service providers, and families must collaborate to develop an instructional program to meet the unique needs of children learning non-visual skills, and that instructional program extends beyond the classroom to the home. As our president has mentioned, children with disabilities have a right to a free and appropriate public education that includes access to the general education curriculum where ambitious standards are explicitly shared and taught. To ensure the success of the teacher and the student, our districts and our state must dedicate the resources needed to provide continual professional development opportunities and address the challenges with large caseloads. Casey Robinson and I provided several implications in 2021 regarding this in hopes of helping schools provide an inclusive and Braille-rich learning environment. Today, I offer hope and a modified version of these implications to address the needs of our learners when providing Braille instruction at school and home. Parents are the first teachers, and teaching begins and is supplemented at home. So Braille pleasure reading should occur daily for at least 30 minutes. Assessment is key. You want to be sure that your children are being assessed, their Braille skills are being assessed, utilizing a reading inventory or something similar to monitor their progress in sight, word, and passage reading skills, because those skills are fundamental and critical to literacy. Begin instruction with a tactile perception and Braille letter recognition program or something similar, and having your teachers use evidence-based strategies that the reading people, the reading specialists, people who spend their time in the literacy field know to be true and successful, like repeated reading, metacognitive skills, and oral and silent reading. Instruction should include words in a contracted form that are naturally contracted and presented and taught as they appear naturally by utilizing mainstream, that's your general education curriculum text. These are rich with high frequency words, and this is important. Instruction will also promote the use of phonics and the mastery of sight words. We want to create an equitable learning environment by utilizing a co-teaching model. And this is for the teachers in the room. You want to come together with your general and special educators as the TBS or the TBI and work together with the orientation mobility specialist, your OT, your PT, your occupational therapist, your physical therapist to promote literacy throughout every facet of this child's life. In the end, we want to create Braille-rich environments. We want to increase the chances of incidentally finding Braille everywhere. I look forward to the day when blind individuals can live the life they want, a life filled with love and literacy. Literacy at home, on the bus, and at school. So when I say Braille, you say Braille, Braille, Braille.
Yes, Braille rocks, and it is so important that students get Braille education on a daily basis. Thanks again to Danielle for coming to our convention in Erie and doing that great presentation. I want to remind you to save the date, November 13th through November 16th, 2025, the next National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania State Convention will be in Harrisburg at the Best Western Premier. It is an outstanding venue for our event. Again, November 13th through the 16th. If you are at the 2024 State Convention in Erie, we'd like to hear from you. Give us a call, 267-338-4495. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see more of come 2025 in Harrisburg at the Best Western Premier. Or if you've got questions, comments, show ideas, maybe you didn't go to the convention, but you have some questions about them coming up. 267-338-4495. We would love to hear from you. You can also reach out via email, whitecanesconnect@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of White Canes Connect. Take care.